Hello guys, what is up? It is Finn here, bringing you guys some NHL 20 news. We are going to be looking at 16 of the biggest changes coming to this year's game. So I'm very excited to go over these, and I do apologize as I was a little, I did critique the trailer a little bit because I know it was just a reveal trailer, but I kind of was expecting them to hint at some things. I know it wasn't a gameplay trailer, but I assumed some teases besides the new bandanas to be kind of implemented. But there's actually a lot more into this game than I thought, which is pretty awesome because a lot of these changes actually sound pretty exciting. So I'm very excited to get into this. So let's go for 500 likes this episode. I know we can do it, so go ahead, hit that like button, show that love and support, and subscribe, and join the Dorsal family, and help us get closer to 100K before the end of the summer. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitch to see the videos live before they hit YouTube, and make sure to join the notification squad and hit that bell. Alright, let's take a look at the first biggest change coming to the game. Alright, so the first thing is contextual shot animations. Unleash the snipers. So what this means is that one-timers across the crease, you would see a player do like this weird shooting animation, but now it's going to be a little bit more realistic. So, they say if you've ever taken a forehand shot when it would be more natural to shoot with a backhand, these problems, arose because EA didn't have the appropriate animation coverage. So basically this new system is going to make shots a little bit more accurate depending on where you are on the ice and the situation of the shot and what you're trying to do. So it looks like the context of the shot is going to be a little bit more realistic, which is pretty cool because I will say a lot of shots just didn't seem quite right in years past. So it looks like they're going to be a lot more, realistic based on the situation. So they say you're not going to see awkward shovel shots from 40 feet out. You're not going to see massive wheelhouse one-timers on short passes from 3 feet out. So you're going to see the type of shot coverage and the shot selection that our game has now to make all the shots look better and feel better. So that's pretty cool. So I'm glad we're getting more realistic shots, because I will say they definitely, there were times where they weren't too realistic last year. So I'm very happy about that. Next is signature shots for NHL superstars. So it looks like certain players are going to have, their own shot animation, which is pretty cool. But so it looks like that, they say here you can differentiate the star players from the third liners, because everyone seemed to have pretty much the same shot. There wasn't different shooting animations for every player. So PK Subban's going to have his own booming slap shot. Ovechkin's one-timer from the top left of the face-off circle, or the top of the left face-off circle, I should say. Austin Matthews half-drag release. Line Ace pinpoint shot, the Sizzler of Stamkos. So they're going to have 10 to 15 signature shots in the game. So it doesn't sound like that much, but it does say they're going to add more moving forward, which is pretty cool. Goalies are going to be getting some love, which is, it's about time. And we know that the save percentage was definitely low for goalies. You could definitely figure out how to, glitch on the goalie. So it looks like they're going to be a little bit more different. So there's actually 400 new save animations for goalies, for them to cover a wider range of shots, which I'm happy about, because sometimes you wouldn't even see a goalie make an attempt to make a save. So I'm glad they've added new ones, which is pretty cool. So glove saves should cut down on the number of soft shots and passes that slip past the netminders. Cheap rebounds and secondary chances from ending up in the back of the net. There's going to be chest covers and more deliberate freezes. So that's pretty cool. And they're also going to be better at secondary threats, which tells me that shots, cross creases they'll be a little bit more aware of and stuff like that. Forward moving in for a rebound. I'm glad they're actually doing this, because it would be very easy to figure out the goalies and to score. One-timers were like a guarantee as long as your guy, was able to get the shot off and you pass it and he could hit the net. As long as you got it on net, it was pretty much a guarantee that it was going to be a goal, unless the goalie somehow had the time to get over. But yeah, it's pretty awesome that that is getting some love. And also it says the own goals by the AI defenders so frequently put in the back of the net. We saw that in Be a Pro. We've seen it on Failure Friday. EA didn't overhaul the defensive player AI. The changes to the puck pickup system combined with the more aware goaltenders should cut down on these problems. So it looks like that hopefully this will be this will be minimized, the amount of own goals from defensemen, or AI defensemen, I should say. So hopefully, this will kind of solve that problem. So it looks like puck pickups are going to be getting another pass, which is nice. But it looks like they've addressed the problem as players had to kind of stop skating and they had to go into this glide animation before they could pass and, pick up the puck in one-timers. So this slowed the game. It was kind of frustrating. So it looks like now in NHL 20 with this RPM tech, the upper body moves with explosive lower body skating resulted in playmaking and executing at full speed, just like NHL Superstars. So it looks like that's going to be enhanced now, so I'm happy about that, because I will say that puck pickups were a little frustrating in last year's game, so I'm happy to see that they are fixing that problem. Also, new team celebrations, which is pretty cool. So we're going to be seeing the bunch of jerks celebration, which is pretty cool. So they will use this in franchise mode and play now, and you can also use it in EASHL, which is pretty cool. So hopefully there will be some there will be other teams having new celebrations, because everything I would see was like the stick, the raising of the stick. That was the only thing that I recall from last year, but I'm glad they're adding the bunch of jerks. I think that is pretty awesome to see. There's also going to be new faces in the broadcast booth. So Doc Emmerich and Eddie Olczyk are no longer going to be the announcers. There's actually going to be two new guys. It is going to be, well, actually, I should say one new guy. It's going to be James Cybolski. I hope I said that right. Probably didn't, so I do apologize. He'll be the new play-by-play guy, and the new color commentator will be Ray Ferraro, who was actually the on-ice guy between the rinkside, whatever you want to call him, in last year's game, or years past, I should say. So he will be back as the color commentator. So I'm not sure who's going to be on ice, but I do think that's pretty cool to get some new faces, because I will admit I was getting kind of bored of Doc and Eddie. So that's pretty cool. There's also going to be presentation changes, which is pretty cool, and I find that awesome. So they're actually going to speak to new audiences and tailor this presentation to this new generation of YouTubers, streamers, and influencers who want something that is punchier, something that really speaks to their audiences. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know quite what that means, but I'm kind of interested to find out. So I think that's pretty awesome. Is Dorsalfin going to have his his own commentary? I don't know, but I think that's pretty cool. And also the score clock is going to move to the bottom of the screen. It was at the top left, so that's going to be further down, which is pretty cool, kind of like the ESPN ticker. So I'm pretty excited about that, and it uses motion graphics to catch your eye when a penalty is called or a power play is counting down, and EA is also using it to update box score information. So I think that's really awesome. That's pretty cool. There's also going to be new goal presentation packages, which is pretty nice, and feature a player headshot. The game currently doesn't support headshots for created players or draft generated rookies, but apparently it will accommodate this in the future. So that's pretty cool. Also, they looked at highlight packages like play of the game and Overwatch. And it looks like at the end of every period and game, the summary celebrates one player's accomplishments with a highlight reel and a graphic calling out their gamer tag. And in HUT Ultimate Team, this will also show which card you used to score that goal or make that game-changing play. That's pretty cool. There's also going to be guest commentators in this year's game. So James Cybolski, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing his name right, and Ray Ferraro aren't going to be the only commentators. There's also going to be guys like Don Cherry, Wayne Gretzky, and celebrities such as Chance the Rapper and Drake. So that's pretty cool. They're adding more than just two guys. Pretty cool to have some guests as well. There's also going to be more World of Shell customization, which is pretty cool. As we saw in the trailer, there's going to be those bandanas, the face masks, whatever you want to call them. So there's going to be, we're not talking the Halloween masks, but the kind of face masks you see people wear at snow parks and ski resorts. So it looks like they're going to add 1,100 new customization items to World of Chell this year, which is pretty cool. So there's also going to be baseball caps. That's pretty awesome, pretty cool to see. So there's also going to be Chell challenges, and there's going to be 15, and they refresh every week, and there will be a variety of different kinds of rewards. So that's pretty cool. And you can also earn a rare vanity item. So pretty nice. Hut gets squad battles. Now I'm not a big Hut player, so this probably won't really apply to me. But you can pit your squad against a weekly featured team designed by influencers, celebrities, or professional athletes. One example we saw was a team created by the Kings fan, legendary rapper Snoop Dogg. Some of the players on those rosters may be new faces, as EA added several new legendary NHL players. That's pretty cool. Also, when it comes to opening packs, there's going to be new legendary card animations, which is pretty cool. So it looks like when you draw a legendary card, it's going to be more exciting, which is pretty cool, as the whole pack opening has been redesigned to make it more of a spectacle. That's pretty awesome for those of you that really like opening packs. So if you have a legendary card in your pack, before it's revealed, the presentation starts listing stats like how many goals they've scored or NHL award trophies they've won. So you have a chance to guess which stud is going to take a spot on your top line, rather than it just showing you the card. So I think this is pretty cool for you to get all suspensed about it, you know what I mean? Also, there's going to be 4 new outdoor venues when it comes to World of Chell, which is pretty cool. And World of Chell was a pretty awesome game, I'm not gonna lie. Or game mode, I should say. I really enjoyed playing it. I didn't play it that often, but I always did it for Failure Friday. I did some live streams with it, even did a little series on it, and I had fun. I liked 3s the most, probably, but 1s was also awesome. And it looks like there's going to be 4 new ones. They're going to be called The Farm, the Midwest, where you can, when you see it, take note of the old washing machine dinged up by practice pucks. The Park, dubbed The Park, is an urban location inspired by Vancouver's Trout Lake rink, and the Canal, which is a riff on the world's largest skating rink in Ottawa, and the peak is set on a mountaintop glacier. And all these rinks will be, used in 1s, 3s, and EASHL pickup games. So that's pretty cool. This one I'm very excited for, the coaching carousel. So you guys know that coaches can get fired throughout the season and replace. You see interim coaches and all that stuff. But it looks like coming to franchise mode for the first time, we will have coach carousels. So you can control the fate of 8 different coaches in your organization. 4 in the NHL and 4 in the AHL. Unfortunately, none of these coaches are going to be licensed, so they're all going to be customized. So that's a little bit of a bummer. But there are 300 different fictitious coaches, so they're not real, of course. But they'll all have unique attributes, specialties, and schemes, which is pretty cool. MLB The Show, their coaches and the manager, they have attributes. They can either lower or raise certain player attributes. There's usually a set of 4 that can be raised or lowered. So that's pretty cool. So they can affect, like, in MLB, they can affect, like, power and contact of a player and speed, pitching attributes such as, how often they can get strikeouts, their pitch speed and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty neat that they're applying that to NHL. So hopefully these attributes could be like, shot power, shot accuracy, offensive awareness, maybe for if you have a goaltending coach, reflexes for glove high, stick high, 5-hole breakaway, stuff like that. I don't know if that's really what it's going to be, but that would be cool if those are the attributes. And they also affect the morale and performance of your players, and you can have conversations with them over the course of the season to promise or deny them that coveted upgrade they seek for the roster. So that's pretty cool. And the scouting system is going to be returned this year, so no surprise there. I wasn't really expecting them to get rid of it. And former players can transition into coaching over time. That's pretty cool. I'm very excited about that. Also, I remember this from NHL 06, but it looks like they're bringing back a chemistry system. I shouldn't really say a new line chemistry system, because I remember this in NHL 06, that they had chemistry for players. But this year returns with the inclusion of coaches. So that's pretty cool. In NHL 20, every line is rated on how well it fits your coach's scheme. Have too many poor fits, perhaps it's time to exercise that trigger finger and fire the coach rather than make a flurry of trades. So that's pretty cool that you have to decide if it's more the players or the coach. I think that's pretty neat to have to figure out. finally, and this is going to be awesome for trading for McDavid, there is going to be a trade finder. I feel like every game, except for Madden and NHL, have this. MLB has it, NBA has it, so that's pretty cool. So you can now find out what you can get for certain players or what you have to give up for certain players. So this is out of 2K. I mean, that it's called the Trade Finder in 2K, but MLB, it has suggest trades, which is pretty much the same thing. But instead of fighting repeatedly with finicky general managers, now you can put players on the trade block and immediately see a selection of counter proposals. You can accept or decline or modify these trades right from the menu, which should help lower the friction to mid-season roster improvement. I am so happy they finally added this, because it is very frustrating to find out what you have to give up for players. I'd rather just see it right away and, you know, kind of adjust it from there. Ones is going to be getting couch play. So now you can play with friends offline, which is pretty cool. So if you're a person that has friends over quite frequently, maybe you have some siblings that you'd like to play with, you know, right then and there, then there you go. You got couch play now. So that is pretty cool. That unfortunately, it's only going to be ones, and you can't use your own creative players, which kind of sucks. But you can choose from a roster of 16 NHL stars and some NHL mascots, which is pretty cool. So that's nice that they implemented that. Also, Battle Royale comes to NHL. Kinda. So I'm going to read this word for word because I'm actually quite interested. I think you guys would be as well, because Battle Royale has been quite a trending thing in all games. You know, it started out in PUBG, then Fortnite, and then Black Ops 4 got it, and, you know, many other games have it as well. Apex, stuff like that. So kind of cool to see this in NHL. So we're going to read this word for word to see what it's all about. So EASHL is still one of the most popular modes, as we know, but EA discovered a lot of these club players also spent significant time in both 1s and 3s last year. After all, these are the perfect modes for killing time when you're waiting for the rest of your roster to come on. So this year, EA doubles down on these modes by taking inspiration from the most popular games on the planet right now for a new spin-off called Eliminator. This pseudo battle royale mode can be played in either 1s or 3s. Solo players can log on to compete in 1s matches at the same time as 81 other players. The first player to win 4 matches is crowned champion. Each time you are eliminated, you can drop right back into another match in the first of 4 ranks. So it looks like it's pretty much the same as 1s, but it's kind of like a tournament too. So I don't think it doesn't sound like you're taking on 81 other players on the same rink. That would be kind of chaotic. So it looks like it's just you and 2 other guys, and then you're just trying to, you know, move forward and forward to win be the first guy to win 4 games. So that's what it seems like to me. Lastly, what are the things that are not going to be in NHL 19? Practice mode for EASHL will have to wait another year. I don't know why this was ever taken out, because I do remember it in NHL 12. That's the last one I remember it being in. I don't know if it was in any other sooner. I really only played 12, and then I started playing again frequently in online for 16, I believe. So I don't remember practice mode being in then. So I only remember it from 12. So unfortunately, we're going to have to wait another year at least for that. So that really sucks. And also, there's not going to be any changes to player ratings or teammate AI or the strategy system. So the game should have a few more player likenesses, including a few refreshes for star players, but they weren't able to address the shortcomings there in any major way. Last but not least, we noticed some gameplay systems that operate largely the same, such as face-offs and board play. The team is still working on fine-tuning, checking, and balancing what should happen when a puck carrier gets pushed from behind. Stay tuned for a lot more info on NHL 20. So that's pretty cool. Also, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a connected franchise mode, which I know, I mean, I don't really care for it too much, but I know a lot of people have wanted it, so I think that's something EA should have looked into adding, even though it doesn't really mean anything to me. I'm not a big fan of online franchise, but it seems like a lot of people wanted this in roster sharing. Roster sharing would have been awesome, you know, to get, you know, a roster with maybe USA players too. I know they have pretty much everything, but if someone went above and beyond to make everyone in the KHL, that would be pretty cool to add. So, but yeah, that does kind of suck. Well, then again, there is no KHL in the game, so I guess they would just have to be like free agents or something like that. But But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm pretty excited about a lot of these things. I think the one that I'm most excited for is the coaching carousel. The new line chemistry seems pretty cool. Trade Finder, I'm very happy about that. What else is there? The new commentator seems pretty cool. The celebrations is, you know, alright. But, I mean, there's nothing really, like, wow. You know what I mean? I remember hearing from someone, I'm not going to confirm this, but I saw in a comment that there's going to be a storyline and be a pro. I haven't read anything up on that, so I'm not going to say that that's true. It might be, I don't know, but it doesn't seem like it. I figured it would have been here. This is Game Informer, so I felt like it would have been here, and this was posted yesterday at 8 p.m., so I feel like if we were going to hear about it, it would have been, you know, right here, so I don't know, maybe it will be announced in the gameplay trailer, who knows, but as of now, this is all I got for you guys. So I hope you all still enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know what you guys are most excited for, and also let me know what you guys wish they did add into the game, what you guys would still like to see. So, yeah, hope you all enjoyed. See you guys in the next one. Peace!